They have information. I think I'd take it. If I thought there was something wrong, I'd go maybe to the FBI if I thought there was something wrong.
That was President Trump unleashing the critics with comments about collecting dirt from foreign adversaries, including Democratic Congressman and 2020 candidate Eric Swalwell, who has in the past stopped short of calling for impeachment. But now, today, he said this.
My question is, why now? Why are you now calling for impeachment?
Well, if you were even to give him the benefit of the doubt that it was a naive campaign, he was a businessman running for president, didn't really mean it, it's clear that he means it now. And that to me is a consciousness of guilt, not just for impeachable offenses for what he's doing now in real time, but now it shows that the conduct during the last election was also one that was done with intent. So I don't think we can wait any longer. Our democracy is at risk.
Here now, Trey Gowdy, former House Oversight Committee chairman and Fox News contributor. Trey, good to see you this evening. What do you make of Eric Swalwell's change of heart on the topic of impeachment?
I'm just trying to process the democracy is at risk, so let's impeach a duly elected president over a crime for which he was not indicted. I'm trying to process how all that works together. Here's what I can tell you about Eric. He's not just getting on the impeachment bandwagon. He helped build it. He was on the House Intelligence Committee. They wanted a cloud over this presidency, and they got one. But he and Schiff have been leading the impeachment train. Whether or not he formally called for it or not, his actions have indicated that he wanted Trump to not be president since the inauguration.
Well, but what do you go back to what the president said. And we just, we talked to Joaquin Castro, who said that he was really appalled by that comment in the Oval Office. What do you take away from the actual content of what the president said in that interview?
A couple of things. Number one, I don't know what's meant by the word information. Are you talking about something that's publicly available, in which case you wouldn't need to call the CIA or the FBI? I am, Martha, 100% confident and hopeful that this president and any other president would call the intelligence community and law enforcement if a foreign adversary were trying to impact our election. I am confident that President Trump said that as much to make the Swalwells and the Castros of the world upset as for any other reason. But the flip side of that is when you do pick up the phone and call, you have to have confidence in who is on the other end of the line. Let's assume he'd called in June of 2016. Who would he have gotten? Jim Comey, someone who spent the last 2 years saying impeachment's too good for the president? John Brennan, is that who he's supposed to call? A guy that thinks he's treasonous and belongs in the dustbin of history? Or the lead case agent, Peter Strzok? So the FBI also has an obligation to be so apolitical and so objective that nobody has any qualms calling them. I feel that way about the FBI. But look, Brennan is still talking about the president. Comey's still talking about the president. So I'm not sure which one of them people expected him to call in 2016.
Yeah, it's an interesting point. Alyssa Milano, who seems to have a lot of influence these days over certain politicians and what's going on, she's an activist and an actress. She said that if this is the norm, we're in big trouble, essentially. There it is. Well, that's it, she said. This is referring to the president's comment in the Oval Office. If we accept this as our norm, the nation will never recover, Trey.
Is this the same actress that launched a sex strike a couple of weeks ago? I think it's the same one.
Yes,
I don't follow her on Twitter. I do know this. We are, speaking of treason, I do know this. We have a robust, strong country. We're able to withstand lots of things,
yes, including
her acting and a president for whom we may disagree with on the issues. I didn't agree with President Obama, but I didn't think it was an existential threat to the democracy. The hyperbole, I don't think, is persuasive. She's entitled to her opinion, and I'm entitled to categorically reject it and not paying attention to it.
Trey Gowdy, always good to see you, sir, from South Carolina tonight. Thank you very much. We'll see you next time.
Yes, ma'am.